Well, today we're talking about lightning safety, and I know this is such a common occurrence here in Maryland, yet I still think there's a lot of myths around it. So let's talk about how lightning even happens. Well, it happens within a thunderstorm when negative charges start to build up and they start traveling downward, and that starts to attract the positive charges that are on the ground. Those positive charges start to travel upwards, likely along a tallest surface like a tree or a pole, and they start to connect with the negative charges. When they connect, it forms a strong electrical current, and that creates that strike of lightning that then reaches back towards the ground. And this can happen at a speed of 60,000 miles per second. In fact, this whole process here can take less than a second. And that lightning is very hot, hotter than parts of the surface of the sun, so you don't want to be anywhere near it, especially near a tall object, because lightning is attracted to the tallest objects because it's easier to reach and connect to those particles. So where are some safe places you can go during lightning? Definitely not under a tree, but not even under a park pavilion, because you don't have any protection from that. Basically, if lightning were to hit a tall object, it would then travel down to the ground and electrify the ground near it. So that's why you want to be safely inside a building or a home, because that's going to provide protection. You want to go away from the windows, but also away from plumbing and electrical cords. So it is true what your mother always said, don't take a shower during a lightning storm, because if lightning were to hit that house, all of the energy would travel through the outside of the home, through the electrical currents and the wires and the plumbing, and then go to the ground. So you wouldn't want to be touching any of those things that could carry that electricity. Now, vehicles actually do provide some safety. So if you're out nowhere near a building, but you happen to be near a vehicle, that would be the next safe place to be. But it's not for the reason that a lot of people think. A lot of people think it has to do with the rubber tires. It's actually the fact that a car is a big metal box. And so that acts as a Faraday cage. It's a term that we use in science to talk about how electricity would then travel through the outside cage of that metal car, travel back down through the car, through the ground, through the tires. So it's the fact that this car is a metal box that it actually protects you inside from the lightning. So if you have nowhere else to go, a car would be the next safe place to be. I just want to keep in mind some of these big safety tips when it comes to lightning. Lightning can happen even when it's not raining. So even if the storm hasn't quite reached you yet with the rainfall, lightning can strike sometimes 20 miles away from the center of the storm. So always keep in mind that if you can hear thunder, that's when you're close enough to lightning to strike. And the best thing you can do is keep the WBAL app, because it will send you alerts if lightning is near your area.